Healers. I'm going to be giving you a deep dive into Naxx here. Okay, so what I'll be doing is showing you the point of view of Holy Pally, Priest, and Shaman. Now, I have a Pally and a Shaman. I don't have a Priest, and so we will be using my friend's stream POV, Silly. He's played a Priest for a long time, so go ahead and give him a follow if you are interested in seeing any Priest play. He's a pretty good Priest. So here's a picture of us about to start Spiderwing. You see that little lantern hanging on the left side of the arch? That is what we would call the ready position, because there's a pack of skitters, a lot of little spiders that run in front of there. And if you're just standing there, or if you see where everyone is standing going up the hill, if you're standing there trying to run to what we call the safe spot, which is kind of like that last third green drape, it's covering that little corner in there. Tucked in that corner, nothing can aggro to you. But if you're around the corner on that lantern, then things could aggro to you. So just be careful when you're running down the ramp that there's nothing patrolling. And when there's nothing patrolling, you can see nothing's patrolling, you go into the safe spot. And then when the raid leader says, okay, let's go to the ready spot, then and only then do you go to the ready spot. I'm going to play the clip. We kind of skip the whole going to ready spot step just because we're a bit experienced. And the raid leader says, oh, it's a good time to go. And there's already 20 people there. So we just kind of, alrighty. So we're going straight into this, basically, like I said. Now, as a paladin, what I'm going to do is bob the mage. You saw the tank almost died there, partially because they failed to lip, I guess, and people weren't quite ready. So here we are healing. The people who are purple on my raid frames, they are cursed. And see that spider who just charged us? It poisons everyone that charges them. And that's why the paladin and hunter stay out to bait, or a hunter and maybe a couple healers who can poison cleanse. So that's the poison charge. Everyone near them, near the player, will get hit by the poison charge. Does a lot of damage. That's the stalker who does that. Then you have the creeper, and if you see someone get yanked across the room, they do that plus that healing curse. It's like a mortal strike. And then the spinners. Now we're watching I think it's the shaman point of view here, dropping our totems. They do a it's like a poison cleave of sorts. It's like a little poison volley spray. It's not a volley. Anyways, you get the point. Have your poison cleanse totem down here, and then wind fury. And why are you chewing that pen, my boy? You're holy brother, you're going crazy. So yeah, Anub'Rekhan here, right? Anub'Rekhan, basically. The start can be a little heavy on damage due to the ads, and the ads put a stacking dot on the healers, or sorry, on the tanks. Healers and range, you want to be spread out. You want to be fanned out, because we'll see it eventually. The boss does. Oh my gosh, you crazy cat! You're doing. It's called Impale. Knocks everyone in the air and does damage to them. The real danger on this fight, and it's really important that no one dies on this fight, is basically, here's the Impale. If someone dies, 5 spiders get spawned. They don't do a crazy amount of damage, but those spiders, if they kill someone else who's low health, well then more spiders spawn. You can have a chain reaction. So very important to sap or dynamite any spiders down. So here's Silly healing. He's doing a lot of flash heals. I'm not a priest expert. Sometimes they do flash heals. Sometimes they do greater heals. Sometimes, and on Alliance, they do prayer of healing. Sometimes on Alliance, they'll even do Holy Nova. You can see he's doing Holy Nova here. It heals his group and does damage and causes, as far as I understand, no threat. Maybe no healing threat? I don't know. No threat. So anyways, running in here. This pack, there's no more poison. That's my finger in your mouth. I'm just petting you, my boy. There's no more poison stalkers that do the charge. Sometimes he likes to nibble. There's these big reaver things that cleave. Just don't stand in front of any of these mobs as a healer, and just heal your butt off. And don't let people outrange you. Pally's bop the mages. again, we have the stalkers, so the healers are a couple healers. It'll be assigned. He really wants that pen. I don't know why. You gotta basically have the healers be ranging, a couple assigned healers out at range to bait that poison charge. If it hits the whole raid, it's death. On these guys, Shadow Bolt volleys can do a lot of damage. So hopefully your melee are kicking it, but it's just a lot of healing here. The main danger is these mobs can do pushback, right? So I believe it's the cultists. See, the acolytes doing the Shadow Bolt volley, but the cultists, see how the melee got knocked back there? So can the healers also get knocked back. The healers can also get knocked back, and that'll prevent your healing. On Faerlina, there can be Rain of Fire. There can be a lot of damage going out really early on here in this fight because there's just a lot of dudes taking damage. Now, be aware that, and I'll show you the POV soon of a priest doing their job here. Priests mind control the ads to remove the bosses in rage. And when that happens, everyone nearby gets a debuff on them that slows their casting speed. So if you're a spellcaster, you just don't want to be near the boss. That's all there is to it. Excuse me, please don't play with my mouse right now. Anyways, here we are just chain healing our butt off. And here's going to be the mind control POV. It happened pretty quick, but he did the mind control. Trying to get the cat's attention to get out of here. He's going crazy right now. All right, we need to pause this. He's chewing on the mouse cable. He doesn't do that very often. Anyways, so here we are continuing to heal Faerlina. Now, after the Faerlina trash, we have zombies, which we have not faced yet. So what paladins do is they're going to hodge them to stun them at 50% or lower because that's when they get enraged. Anyone who's hodging them before then, they're jumping the gun a little bit, but it is helpful to, of course, hodge and be very careful in Spiderwing. A lot of deaths happen. Look, the tank pulls the ghouls, but someone also moves ahead, pulls the acolytes, and then there's the spider patrol. And so we get all of it. And this could be really lethal. Really, really lethal. Very important. You see the hunter on the top right, or top left now, who is out there baiting any poison charges. And miraculously no one dies. But that is dangerous. Furu, you're not supposed to be on the counter. So here we are outside of Maexxna's room, killing the second set of the Stalker Patrol. But if that doesn't happen, you got to be really careful about leaving totems outside of this boss room or really anywhere. There's a lot of patrols in Naxx. Don't just leave a totem hanging around. I've seen mobs get pulled into this Maexxna fight and wipe people. So Maexxna pretty much just does damage to the tank. So if you're a healer, you're healing the tank. Except for the people, as you see, who are running over to heal. The couple people who get thrown on the wall. So basically, they are thrown on the wall, and the healers go heal them, and the DPS, some range, go take them down off the wall. But basically, you're just healing the tank. Now, it's the tank's job to survive the AoE stun of the raid. In this case, on the shamans, we're one-phasing it with big cooldowns and geared players. But it's the job of a priest and a druid to put all their hots on the tank before that stun happens to help keep the tank survived, as well as an abolish poison. Thank you, druids. Because if they get poisoned with the healing reduction poison, that's bad. This is the POV of the healing the wall. Alliance groups will sometimes cheese with a divine intervention and a soul stone. So Plaguewing trash is super short and sweet. ghouls, they enrage. The zombies hit hard. So just, if you're on salve, like make sure the warriors have salve here. You don't want someone to just get got and lose their world buffs. But obviously the tanks have to be careful as well, brother. You can't go this way. You're forbidden. I think someone actually just did die to that slime or to something. Please, off the camera, my boy. Now we have some 3 sets of 2 gargoyles. They put a stacking dot on us, and if you've got good damage, you can take more sets. If you need to take a break in between each one, so be it. But what's very important is that you do not move ahead before the raid leader says, because you'll spawn more mobs. On this boss, you're just pretty much healing the tank, and druids have to decurse, mages decurse. Stand near the boss. When the ads spawn, if you're out on the edges, you're going to get healing aggro. They'll kill you. So anyways, it's not too bad. You just heal the tank. The important thing is the boss is going to teleport, and that's an aggro reset. So this is going to happen, and a mage almost dies, but I bop him. And what you also need to do is cleanse the tank. When the boss teleports away, they get a attack speed slow. Through the gauntlet, make sure you don't forget about a totem. And it's not too bad if you have good damage. The mages can sometimes pull aggro, so just you got to watch and take care of the mages. I think we're going to go into the boss here. So we're going to the boss. Sometimes a couple bats pull, so be it. Drop your totems. I think the tank got low there, and I saved with the NS heal. But you're going to drop your disease cleanse totem for Horde, kind of in that, well, where everyone else is doing it, and their win for your totems, and then get on the platforms. You got to be away from the boss because he does a mana burn to anyone near him. But the disease cleanse totem will get rid of any diseases, and you just pretty much you can chain heal, because some people do take slight AoE damage, or you can do some single target healing. Either one. On Alliance, we cleanse and just heal. Sorry, yawning. It's late, and I've been working all day on these videos for you guys. So please leave a like. Loatheb is a pretty chill fight for healers. You just have to heal like every 1 minute or 90 seconds or something like that. So it's going to be my turn soon. You never want to let the tank get too low on health. Like, definitely never below 50%. So I just healed there. And it's my turn to heal again on the shaman. On shaman, you can do the healing totem, because you see how there's poison on people. The healing totem will heal that, and also when they take shadow damage, it'll heal them. Other than that, what you're going to do is just you can do lightning bolts. If you're paladin, you exorcism and auto attack. If you're a priest, you can do smite, because you just heal when you have to heal, and wait for your turn. You'll get called to do so. You see how I just used that recombobulator and how my trinket is on a 5-minute cooldown now? It scales with spell power. So engineers, make a recombobulator, and that will heal for almost 1,000. It's a big deal. You have to survive as well. So shadow protection potion before and in the middle, and bandage, whatever you got to do. It's what you got to do. On A-bomb trash, these things cleave hard. So be ready to heal the raid. Don't go near them. Don't go near any of these mobs as a healer. They can do a lot of cleave and AoE damage of various sorts. So all you want to do is just big heals, but proper ranging in this wing. Okay? So here we have some of the patrols that are getting pulled. Those slimes, they do, the big slimes do like AoE damage, but paladins can stun them if you want. So, we have some priest healing. I hear you. There's the wretch. So you don't want to go near that big AoE thing that just happened. Now, after you do those packs, you're going to pull this little pack here, which has all these little dudes. So as a paladin, I can put Consecration down. Then I can bubble, run in the middle, Sapper, and then Holy Wrath. Now, don't judge me for clicking it out of my spell book. I forgot I took it off my bar for like some PvP or something. And I was just like, what button is it? So please don't judge me too hard. You can jump over this slime river, but the second slime river, you need to use a slow fall mug or a priest levitate to get over. Again, just heal people, be ready to heal, but don't get close. Stay away. They have big cleave, big long range cleaves. So just stay back, but be in range to heal. That's the main thing here. If you're a priest on Alliance of the correct race, dwarf, put Fear Ward on people because these packs can fear. I believe this pack is going to do a lightning totem, which is big damage, so just big heals. If someone gets feared, you can cleanse them. It's a magic. So if anyone, I bopped that mage there, so you can bop mages. They do. Oh, I got hit by that wretch. I was a little close. Cat's going crazy. What can you do? He was sleeping all day, man. And I start filming. So yeah, we're chain healing. We got our totems. I have Tremor totem down for the fear. Patchwerk, you can see in the distance is leaving, but if you get feared into Patchwerk, that's game over, man.
This is how you heal Patchwerk. This is Patchwerk right here. This is how you heal Patchwerk.
So as you just saw, I've literally healed Patchwerk with a shirt over my head the whole time. You just heal your assigned tank. Nobody. You can sit on my lap, but that's it. That is it. That's all you can do. You just heal your tank and that is it. You just heal your tank and that is it. Don't heal the DPS. Never heal the DPS. They're low health. They want to be low health. Being low health avoids taking a Hateful Strike. Hateful Strike hits threat number 2, 3, and 4 for like 6,000 damage every 1.2 seconds. So that means if you have 2 Hateful tanks, every 2.4 seconds, math, they're going to take a big chunk of damage. Of course, they can dodge it. As a shaman, what we're going to do is we're going to use chain heal. Depending on how fast they're going to kill, you can do rank down rank or high rank. So it's based on the kill speed and the healing that you need. But you could do like a rank 1 chain heal and it'll heal the other tanks as well. But here now we're using a lesser healing wave because one of the tanks, they got pushed out on threat. And so we're just using a two tank strategy, which requires like 8 healers on the one hateful. So that's why we were using that kind of heal. This healer's doing some really big freaking heals, but I've talked to my priest friends and they say rank 1 greater heal is probably your best bet on this fight. Don't worry about renew or anything. You don't stop casting. You just keep on healing with that rank 1 greater heal. If you kill it fast, you could near the end of the fight, if you have mana, you could switch to a higher rank heal, especially because near the end of the fight there's the enrage. But yeah, I'll leave that up to you. These guys can get stunned. These guys take world buffs, man. They do a lot of damage to people. They knock them in the air. I'm going to get knocked in the air here too. It's not that big a deal. But basically, they do poison to everyone. And so the best is to interrupt and to stun the poison. Now on Grobbulus, one person and one person only cleanses the poison, because when the poison goes on the people, a poison cloud drops. Now the boss also drops poison every now and then, like every 15 seconds or whatever. He's going to drop a poison cloud now, and the tank's going to move it. But you also see people getting cleansed. If you're the cleanser, you want to make sure that they're far away, because they do a bit of an AoE damage, and you don't want to drop the poison in the raid. And also as a healer, just make sure that if there's a poison cloud slowly getting close to you, you don't just look at your healing bars and you move out of the poison. On Gluth, lesser healing wave shamans, do not chain heal, because it's important that you only heal the tank. The druid needs to heal everyone else, and we'll explain why shortly. It's for kiting the ad. So shamans, tremor totem for the fear, and wind fury, and then, or you could twist strength if you can watch the timer. We're gonna show pally healing. For pally healing, you want to stagger step, right? As you're moving in, you got to stagger step. The tank can get really hit hard here, especially because this boss is a frenzy, and if the hunter doesn't trank it quickly, it could do a lot of damage. So there's the fear. We're just healing that tank. Sometimes they get low, so be ready with the potential NS heal. And it's important that the tank also knows not to outrun you as the healer. Like you have 20 seconds or so to get over here, so they can stagger step. But now let me show you druid and paladin kiting. Okay, so here I found this online, some random YouTube video from 4 years ago. A druid is doing the kite, so he's doing rejuve on everyone. I really wish that his frames do show who has the rejuve. It's just kind of small, or at least I think it does. Maybe it doesn't show rejuve, or yeah, it does. Anyways, so he's putting a rejuve on people. That causes threat, and he is able to get all of these dudes. And then you have a warrior running around with piercing howl. So, and maybe there's a mage there chasing around to Frost Nova. I'm not sure who that other person is, but he just runs around and puts rejuve on anyone and just runs in a circle. Feel free to have like nifty stopwatch, rocket boots, whatever you need to do to run fast as the druid kiter. Same with the paladin. I'm just doing Blessing of Kings, the macro. First of all, you want to have Righteous Fury on and no salve, so you can have cast Righteous Fury, cancel aura, greater Blessing of Salvation, macro. And then you would have like cast target equals the name of the warrior, greater Blessing of Kings, I believe. And or you could just literally have a macro. Like mine was just like target Barador, cast greater Blessing of Kings. I didn't realize you could have a different macro that would cast it on them without losing your target. But anyways, it's very basic. Stalag and Fugan, they hit the tanks pretty hard. Stay away because they do a mana burn. So I always just max range the heal because they do a mana burn. There's heals on both sides. It's not too bad. You just don't want to get mana drained because Thaddius can be a intensive healing fight. So you got to make a jump here. Movement speed helps, but you can levitate down. So this group, what they do is they all stand here in the middle, and you go right if you're positive, left if you're negative. But I prefer when everyone stacks on one side. I'll show you shortly what that looks like. But basically, we're waiting for the polarity, and it's just very important that you go to your correct side or you'll die. So my debuff says negative. I go to the left side. You could do it a different way. You could have positive on the left, but for whatever reason, everyone it seems has agreed like, yeah, we just do negative on the left and positive on the right. You don't have one guild doing it one weird way. So mostly the tank takes damage with the occasional like zap that the raid takes. So make sure the tanks get healed. They can get hit pretty hard here. There's a polarity, but I don't have to change. And yeah, so here's how, anyways, the fight's already started. I thought it was going to show differently, but how I normally do it, or my guild normally does it, is everyone starts where they're standing now except for the tank, and then only half the people need to move, and half of the people are already in the correct spot. So in Military Wing, Necronites do big AoE, Arcane Explosion, Flame Strike, Frost Nova, precast heals. The Death Knight here does a fear, and he will also raise undead, and he will put a curse, a big healing reduction curse. The Death Knight captains that I showed you there, they just do a spin. Basically, if you can have a tremor totem down, have a tremor totem down. If you can do fear ward, do fear ward. Otherwise, big heals. If melee get caught in the spinning guys because they do a stun, then you're going to have to bop them or heal them through it. There's smiths that do like thunderclap, kind of like AoE. There's shades that do shadowbolt volley. All you need to do as a healer for this fight is prevent fears, stay max caster range, so that you don't get in the bad stuff, and you should be fine. Like here, we're gonna have a couple people get stunned. They are disarmed, but we're not gonna heal through. It's just like I'm casting heals, but they just take too much damage because they stood in an avoidable mechanic. Again, I even mess up here. I have a strength totem down instead of a tremor, and I get feared here. And so, I don't play perfectly all the time. Anyway, so it's just more of the same after this. Then we're going to go downstairs. And downstairs, what we're going to have are some horse packs with little dudes. They put like a dot on you, stacking dots. So you just got to kill them fast. It can be fairly healing intensive if you have low damage. Then you want to be spread out for these other horses because they do a charge. And the charge does a lot of damage. You're going to see people even get killed potentially here. So, priest, you can put your inner fire on. Ooh-wee. But yeah, just got to heal your butt off here. Now we're going to talk about Razuvious. Razuvious is pretty easy to heal, but priests, they have a big job here. So here I am just walking in and healing the tanks. I could put a 5-minute Blessing of Might on the Mind Control ad, makes them do more damage, and the ads do a big chunk of damage to the boss. They really do. In a couple seconds here, the Disrupting Shout goes out, so I bop my mage and I line of sight. Anyone with mana takes damage from this shout, so you got to pay attention when it's happening. Other than that, you heal the tank, and you can heal the Mind Controlled ad too. The tanks don't take that much damage. The tanks are the ads, and you can heal them. That's all there is to it. Now the real job is the priest mind control. So let me show you the priest mind control here real quick. By the way, with the shamans, you can drop the totems like above. You see some of those totems up there drop before we started the fight. So he does a mind soothe. He taunts. He backs up, pops the shield wall, or else the ad will die, and he's just auto attacking pretty much. He's just positioning it. He's gonna try to position it such that it's easy for him to see, like that. And then the other mind control, the skull, is going to take over. And now the X goes loose, and he's going to have big threat on the X, but the tank taunts that off. And then he mind controls a new one and gets in position. And then when it's his turn, he taunts, and they just rotate like that. Don't have shadow resist, and make sure you have 3% hit. That's all there is to it. And we appreciate you, priests, for doing that. On these dudes, they hit hard, they hit hard, they hit hard. So be ready with like pre-shields, especially on these mobs. And on the horses before Razuvious. Pre-shield on like the squishy rogues is really good. Keep these people alive, just pumping the heals, staying on the wall. I apologize for the yawns. I tell you, I'm making videos 12 hours a day, man. I don't even play WoW anymore. I just make videos. Necronites are in here, so we gotta do big heals. Do big heals. These horses are the same. They put a stacking dot on. So a lot of these mobs are just more of the same. People like to die on this next pack because 2 Necronites and the captains that spin. So you got to try and stay with the group. See, it's tough. Like I was far behind. So the Necronites, they do a lot of damage. Now it's time for Gothic. Gothic is usually pretty uneventful on the live side. Usually pretty uneventful. Sometimes even we will CC mobs on the live side because the dead side might be overwhelmed. Leave it up to the raid leader to balance it, but we'll do 6 healers per side, and then sometimes 20 raiders per side, but it might be like 19 and 21 raiders per side, with more people being on the dead side. As the paladin, I'm gonna stand forward a little bit because some of these mobs will charge. So there, I get charged there. Better me with armor getting intercepted than a priest. We also have those void walkers baiting charges. Here I am on the dead side. We usually stack the totems up, and people just have to stay near the totems. It's dangerous for DPS to overextend, so feel free to yell at them if they're doing that, because if they outrange you, I mean, there's not much you can do. Sometimes there can be a lull in damage, and then a lot of damage goes out. So you just got to keep your wits about you there. After, you're gonna pull this pack of ghouls and start making your way towards 4 horsemen. And you see how there's those acolytes over there? We want to stay near this hook thing, or else you'll pull them. And I'm going to show you in a second here how people, they just got forward so much. You see the hunter pulls the ghouls. He feigns death because he sees the acolytes got pulled by someone moving too close. So don't be the person who moves too close. Be aware of your surroundings. And then you do the ghouls, they enrage, you stun them, blah, 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 blah. We have gargoyles that patrol, same as in the Spiderwing and throughout the raid here. There is a nasty horse patrol here that you have to watch out for. Sometimes you avoid it, you never see it, and other times you get both of them. Just like the spider patrol and the Spiderwing. You got patrols, it is what it is. So here's the horse patrol, and 2 Necro Knights, they do big damage. So big heals. Now let's talk about 4 horsemen. All right, first of all, let's talk about the rotation of 4 horsemen before we show any live footage. Hopefully, Kitty Cat here is not too invasive. So we're going to have 12 healers, right? 3 healers per corner. We have Thane here in the green corner, Mograine here in the red corner, Blamu at blue, and Zealec at green. Healers rotate in a clockwise fashion. And what we do is we assign healers to a mark. Now, it's important to know what the mechanics are of each boss. For Thane, when you're there, you have to be stacked with all of the other casters. So just think, it drops a meteor that does splash damage, so you want to be stacked. For Blamu, you just go out and watch the void zones. Zealec, heal from max range because it does like a Cthulhu beam, and you only want it to hit the tank and maybe a couple melee nearby them. You don't want it to chain to the healers. You'll die. There's no mechanic you need to know about Mograine other than he hits hard. But for the most part, 3 tanks are enough to heal each corner. 4 horsemen, they don't hit that hard. They're some of the weakest hitting in the fight, or of the whole raid, I should say. Rather, this is a fight where the test is coordination of the raid. You need 3 healers per corner. But, as you hopefully know, there are stacking dots. Or not a dot, it's a debuff, right? And you can see here, the first mark does 0 damage, then 250, 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, 6,000, and more after that. So let's say I'm standing at Mograine. After about 20 seconds, the first mark goes out. I have 1 stack, does no damage. Second one goes out, 250. Third one goes out, 1,000. Once I have 3 marks, I want to move. So let's just say my name is Done Poopin', and I'm at Mograine. I'm going to heal the tank who is assigned to be there for 3 marks. And then I'm going to rotate clockwise. Then I will be there for 3 marks. Then I will rotate clockwise. I will be there for 3 marks and I rotate clockwise. Now let's just say your name is Trialson and you're in your it says start at Blamu, mark 1. So what that means is Trialson runs from all the way to the beginning and is healing the tank over here. And then after 1 mark, they move over to Zealot. But once they get their first mark, then they move every time they get 3 marks. So they're here for 1 mark, and then they go here and they stay for 3 marks, 3 marks, 3 marks. The reason is every time a mark goes out, you want 1 healer from each corner to move. So if all healers stayed there and healed until they got 3 marks, and then all 3 healers moved from 1 corner to the next, there would be a period of time when no one is there to heal. So that's why you move 1 healer at a time. And so you want each healer to have a different level of marks. So that's why 1 mark goes out and all of the mark 1 healer moves. So person at Mograine goes to Zealot, person at Zealot goes to Blamu, person at Blamu goes to Zealot, or Thane down here. But they all move 1, right? Then another mark goes out, and then the mark 2 healer goes boom, 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 boom. Then the mark 3 healer, and then finally the mark 3 healers move. So what we're going to do now is watch from a Warcraft log using the replay tool. We're gonna watch it happen. So everyone's running into the fight here, and we're going to have 3 healers go to each corner. Keep in mind the names that we're going to see here are different than the assignment sheet I was just showing you. The names are not important, but we're going to have tanks go to each corner, and all the DPS start on Thane. We just care about the DPS though, right? We see 3 healers here, myself and these 2 priests. We have Worth Nothing, and then Misa and Hot Pot. Then we have Pee Pee Poopy, Big Ricky, and Paco there, and then Kazuha, B-Whoops, and Creme Palais there. So let's just click on my name. So here's the first mark. Here's the first mark. Let's back up a second. We're going to see the marker goes out. And there it is. Now we're going to see 1 healer from each corner moving, right? So we have Worth Nothing, Voiley, Kazuha, and Pee Pee Poopy moving in their clockwise directions. Very simple. And we're just going to keep watching me until I get a second mark. And let's see what happens here. There's my second mark. I mean, everyone gets a second mark. Just keep in mind, I have a mark of Mograine, and Creme Palais has, 2 marks of Korthaz, and they have their respective marks. And so we have our boop, 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 boop. 1 healer from each corner moves, so we maintain the 3 healer rule. But now here's where it gets confusing. Thane is dead, and now all the DPS are going to move over here to Mograine. Don't worry about the tanks, don't worry about the DPS, just worry about yourself as a healer. You have to have 3 healers per corner. Sorry for the squeaky chair. 3 healers per corner. But if a guy's dead, you still go to that corner, or instead you go to the safe spot. Literally, if you get confused, just go to the corner where the dead guy is. Take your 3 marks, and you will not mess up your rotation. Or go to the safe spot. To do this fight, you just have to be able to count 2, 3. So anyways, Ricky's leaving, and we're going to have... We have Creme Palais with 1 Blamo. Kazuha has 2 Blamo. And then... Hold on. There shouldn't be 4 healers there. But anyways, it looks like there's 4 healers. Or is Kazuha's leaving? Because they just got a mark. Okay, so everything is fine. Everything's fine. We have 3 healers. 3 healers. I think there's 3 healers here. And then we have... our people in the safe spot there, and then another mark goes out, and so 1 person will leave the safe spot and go in. We have a person going there. Temporarily, we only have 1 healer at at Zelik. That's not ideal. Krempele's going in. I'm not sure how this guy has one mark of Blamo, one of Korthaz, and one of Mograine. That doesn't make sense. He should have 3 from someone. So, anyways. Finally, we're back up to 3 healers over... Oh, no, Ricky was there. Okay, so we're good. Overall, things are good. I feel like some people are doing a little bit of a weird rotation. But Mograine is dead. And once you have the front 2 dead, you can be a little more lax. You can be a bit more lax because you have 12 healers. If you have 12 healers alive, you can be a bit lax, but you don't want to mess up too much. Anyways, I hope that gives an idea. So here we are on the 4 Horsemen with a priest POV. They're healing Mograine. They're using flash heal. And you just wait. You can use a weak aura. So in this case, Silly is assigned a Mark 2 healer. So he has his 2 marks. And then it says, the weak aura literally says, move to Thane. And then now that he took a Thane mark, he says he needs to, I think, stay at Thane for 3 marks, if I understand this weak aura. And he's probably going to chill there for a little while, then go to the safe spot. And now we're healing this on the Paladin. And again, in this POV, we're starting on Mograine, of course. Some people are starting with Zelik and Blamo and Thane, etc. And we're just healing. We got people moving. This fight is so important to understand. It really is, because if we have healers moving out of turn, tanks will die. The bosses don't hit hard. It's pretty chill. It really is pretty chill. You just have to not lose your rotation. And I see so many priests mess this fight up, and so many wipes. And you hear a tank saying like, "Oh, I have no healers at this corner," or a healer says, "I'm the only healer at this corner." It's like, how could that be? Yet it happens. So I was there for Mograine for 3 marks, and I went to Thane for 1 mark. I'm gonna stay in the safe spot here for about 2 marks. We'll show you one full rotation here. And now it's marks 6, so I'm going here. I think I might have gone in like half early, maybe taking 1 extra mark. How many healers are there? It's me, 1 guy who's leaving. I might have gone in because I'm the only guy. I got to dodge the void zones. Now there's a couple other healers with me, and now I'm a 4th healer, so I'm gonna leave here shortly. I think I take a 4th mark accidentally. Not that big a deal. I might just stay here for 2 marks. I don't remember. Let's see what I do. Because that would correct my staying there for too long by accident. Actually, I went in too early on Blamo. That's why I had the 4 marks. Anyways, with shamans, you can see the left wall. You can hug that wall tight, pre-drop your totems. But I forgot to do that. And then so I just quickly went to drop the totem, and then I'm booking it back over here to Mograine. I'm going to take my 1 Mograine mark, which I was assigned to do a Mograine. I think just 1 Mograine. And then there I am turning around. So it was a bit of running back and forth. But like I say, I don't always play perfect. But now we're going to be here for 3 marks. So I took my first Thane mark, and I'll be here for 2 more marks. But the boss, I believe, is going to die early. And so as a result, I will have to stay in the safe spot for a mark there. Again, we want to be stacked up just in case there's a meteor. I get my third mark. I just stayed there healing people as they left so they didn't take a lethal mark. And then I have my 3 Thane marks, and I'll do 3 Blamu marks. Blamu. Watching those void zones. I do a chain heal here, then I probably switch to a lesser healing wave because it is just one guy that I'm healing. I make sure I redrop my totems because melee will be coming here soon. Even though I might be on a different part of the room, give them the totem. But then we move on to the next spot. So here we go, move into the next spot. And we're just following that three mark rotation. Now we're on to Sapphiron. Healing Sapphiron is tough. It's tough. And sometimes you have your feral tank heal. That's what we're going to do. We'll have our feral tank heal, so we have 13 healers. Sometimes you got to bring your ult in to get this fight done. Week 1, maybe that's what you got to do. So anyways, I'm tank healing. Paladins are spread out with Frost Aura for the different couple groups. On Horde, Shamans have their Frost Totem. So what Palis mostly do is tank heal. And of course heal themselves. Palis can bubble if they need to, like, if they're low on health. See how those blizzards spawn? Sometimes a blizzard will spawn on you, so Paladin could just bubble. Blizzards are dangerous. They'll creep up on you fast, so you kind of want to have a bit of a bird's eye view here. Anyways, priests, if you're Alliance, you're gonna heal with the occasional Prayer of Healing, the occasional Renew, but primarily priests love to heal with Greater Heal with their full tier 2 set, because they do a Greater Heal, it leaves a little Renew to keep on healing. And remember, what Sapphiron's going to do is 600 damage before resistances to everyone in the raid, and every 2 seconds. And so it's very important to have that the constant healing going, and resistance will help the group a lot. Mana Potion early, pre-pop your Shadow, and Frost Potion. Now, here's the Shaman POV. We're doing 2-side. I think 2-side is so much more difficult, but I'll show you how it is. Shamans use your Healing Stream Totem and your Frost Resist Totem, and then Strength of Earth and Wind Fury. Primarily just doing a rank 1 chain heal unless it gets too crazy, and we'll do some rank 3. It's all about being mana efficient here. Mana efficiency. When the boss goes up, what we're going to do is we're going to switch to lesser healing wave, because chain heal is kind of useless on air phase, because people are spread out. They need to be spread out for the frost blocks. Because when that ice bolt hits the person and turns them into a block of ice, it's going to do a little AoE around everyone. And you have to be spread out. So chain heal won't hit anyone. Now we're going to run behind a block. And now you can chain heal. Then you're going to double check your totem. I'm going to put down that Healing Stream Totem. Your Healing Stream Totem is so powerful on this fight. So powerful. It'll do like at least a 10th or a 20th of your healing. It's wild. Here's a priest heal. Again, this is Alliance, so they're not doing tank healing, they're doing raid healing, and they are primarily doing greater heals with prayer of healing. So there's a prayer of healing, and they focus on their group. He's just kind of greater healing. He greater heals himself. He greater heals the hunter in his group. He's doing some other heals here and there, but he's mostly just healing his group healing his group, and helping where he can. You take care of your group and triage as needed the other raiders. If there's a healer in the blizzard, you heal them. If a healer dies on this fight, you're in rough shape. You're in rough shape. And guess who's leading the raid that you're watching right now? Yours truly. From quite a few years ago, this one was. This is, I think, 2023. Back when I was raid leading phase 7. But, and then priests on this fight, you're going to primarily flash or greater heal the tank. Druids are, you can just rejuve everyone. And decurse. Decursing very important for the druid. So, that's Sapphiron. Now on KT, the beginning phase, there's not a lot for healers to do. Now, as a paladin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, when it's my turn, I will stun the A-bomb. You can exercise, use exorcism on the skeletons as they come in. Sometimes we have a paladin do Greater Blessing of Kings to get threat on everything. Makes the fight much more trivial. Because you see how everyone just took green damage there. Now there's something to heal. Someone got meleeed by a skeleton. So priests smite the skeletons, and I'll show you some smiting soon. But there, I hodge my dude. I throw a couple heals around. Phase 1's very chill, and they shorten phase 1 due to Season of Discovery. And Blizzard doesn't probably even know that on Era and soon to be Anniversary, Naxx is has different timers thanks to Season of Discovery. Clueless. No clue, I think. So here we are having silly smite. And yeah, wanting the ad. It's phase 2 where things pick up a little bit. But here I'll show you Shaman phase 1. So basically, Shaman phase 1, every Shaman has to drop an Earthbind totem in their cubby. Not too close or it'll aggro everything, but you drop a totem because as the skeleton comes, that totem slowing them is really effective, really powerful. And you're going to lightning bolt, you're going to frost shock the skeletons. It ramps up really slowly. But that is what it is. So you can see some skeletons are coming in. Remember, Earthbind lasts 45 seconds, so you got to keep track of it. I dropped mine and it hasn't even slowed anything yet. But my Earthbind goes away, and so I'm gonna frost shock this dude, and then throw a little heal, and then I can get my totem back out there. It's not a rush if there's no skeleton, but I know it looks like I'm not doing anything. There's not much to do. I resist my earth shock, but that's all I'm doing. I'm just watching for some skeletons. The priests will help smite as they can, but usually there's the warriors. They intercept the A-bomb because we don't have a pally to stun, and then a rogue can use a kidney shot. I'll earth shock this guy. Yeah. Now, when KT starts, which will be soon, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our totems in the middle. So we'll put our strength in the middle. We'll put our wind fury in the middle. The boss is coming out shortly, so I drop my totems and I get out because I won't be able to go in there again, pretty much. So you want to drop them at the last second and then get to your spot. You could do a lesser healing wave. I like to down rank if I'm doing a lesser healing wave, like a rank 4. And but you got to be ready for the frost blast. So you can alternate between lesser heal wave and chain heal. But when that frost blast goes out, chain heal is so powerful at getting that group up. And What Frost Blast does, it went on a single guy, but it'll hit one person and spread to anyone near them. Move out of the fissure. And so basically what that means is over 4 seconds, it's going to do like 104% of their health or something. So they just need like one heal basically, and they should survive unless they're not at full health, in which case they will die. So they need a decent amount of heals, but not too much. On the Paladin, just flashy healing the tanks because I'm a tank healer. Paladins can do Fear Undead on the ads. So whenever the ads come out, let the first couple get shackled, and then you can fear as needed. So here's a Frost Blast. We're just trying to heal. No one dies. I hodge him. You could have a Magic Dust and dust. Move out of the Void Zone. Trowson's going to die here. He was a little bit out of my range. I had to move closer, and because earlier a bunch of healers near him died, there was no one in range to heal him, so that was just really bad luck. And then finally we have Silly healing. He's doing some greater heals, I believe. He did a Inner Focus and Prayer of Healing. I believe that gives it like 100% chance to crit or something, so that's always a strong thing to use with Prayer of Healing. He did a Magic Dust on Kha'Zix there. I think he was a little bit out of range to heal the Frost Bomb there. The Frost Tomb or whatever it's called. They were on the other side, so... Because he can't be too close. If he's near the X, he could get chained to the Frost Bomb. He's going to probably shackle this. But of course, a warrior, you see there's the deep wounds. So melee have to be careful not to whirlwind and just be all willy-nilly whirlwinding people. But he's doing a good job spamming the shackle. And that's all there is to it. So I hope this healing guide helps. I hope it gives some perspective on Pally, Priest from Horde and Alliance, and then Shaman. If you enjoyed the video, drop me a sub and a comment. Catch me live on my Twitch channel, Dwarf Lord TV, to connect with me or say hi to me in game on any of my characters. Dwarf Lord out.
And they say that the Dwarf Lord could save us. I'm not gonna cave here and wait. I'll hold on to the beard of the Dwarf Lord. Watch as we heroic leap away.